See Brown in your face.
Have you heard of Everything at Once?
Do you know about Everything at Once?
It's internationally known.
Aliens listen to it.
It's the best ever.
If there's something you're looking for in the 814, or feeling a little bored and think there ain't no more, check out Everything at Once and allow it to be your source. It's that raw podcast that's always showing support, highlighting the scene. No need to take I-90 to Peep or 79 to see how it be. Interviewing your locals with mindsets that are global. Innovators and creators on every single upload. So much going on in the EPA.
Incredible content.
Everything at Once will keep you up to date.
Amazing guests.
What you doing? Come through and hang with Tony and Dave.
Community driven.
Bringing everything at once from around the way. Everything at once from around the way. Hey.
Please listen. We love you. Everything at Once.
Everything at Once.
Hey, Dave, you ready for another podcast?
Yeah, I guess.
Dang, man, you sure you feeling okay?
I don't know. I've just been tired and sluggish lately, and I just can't seem to get any energy.
You really should have seen our last guest, Shantae. When she was here, she could have given you some direction. She's a board-certified doctor of natural medicine.
Do you think it's too late?
Nah, man, you could give her a call. Her practice is called Sacred Divine Femininity.
Sounds like that's for girls.
It's not, man. She treats guys and girls. She takes a holistic approach towards health and well-being.
You know, I think I'm going to give her a call.
That's a good idea, dude.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bud?
Wow, Dave, you're looking a lot better.
I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you so much for getting me in contact with Shantae.
Yeah, Sacred Divine Femininity really seems like it did the trick for you.
It really did. I'm ready to do the best podcast ever.
Let's do it.
Yeah!
It's time to introduce this show.
The best show on the face of the planet.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. We want to thank our Patreon producers, Brian G., Josh W., Ian D., Nick G., and Sadie M.
Patreon, it's an awesome way to support the show and say thanks. You can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link below and choosing to be an intern, assistant, or producer level supporter.
If being on the production team is too much pressure for you, you can also send any contributions using our Venmo at Everything at Once Studios. We now want to thank all the local businesses who supported this episode. These businesses get the Everything at Once stamp of approval and are critical members of the Everything at Once community. We couldn't do it without them. With winter approaching, are there any last-minute details that you want to change or renovate around your home?
I might, but you know who to call.
Yeah! Ghostbusters!
No, Tony. No, not Ghostbusters. Solid State Construction.
Oh, yeah. Solid State.
Yeah.
Duh. Solid State takes pride in all their home remodeling projects. Solid State specializes in bathroom remodeling, kitchen renovation, window and door installation, custom design work, and more, including painting, flooring, drywall, sidewalk, decks. Get your free quote today by calling Nick at 814-397-7854. Solid people, solid product, Solid State Construction.
You know, Tony, with all these renovations from Solid State, I think we might have kicked up some bad energy around here. Yeah, oh yeah. Luckily, we know just the people to go see.
I know it this time. It's Ghostbusters.
No, Tony! Our friends at Cauldron and Thorne!
Wow. I feel really dumb right now, and I can't believe I didn't think of Cauldron and Thorne, the world's largest witchcraft and metaphysical shop, with everything a person needs to channel the spirit world.
Practice some self-care.
Find enlightenment.
Curse your enemies.
Protect yourself from your enemies.
Bless your friends.
Cleanse your space from negative energies. You can check out all the magical wares available at for these different practices we all love and enjoy at Cauldron and Thorne, 2724 West 8th Street, or online at cauldronandthorne.com.
This week, we have an incredible guest for you.
Hello and welcome everybody to another incredible episode. As always, I got my man Dave Scrupp, Doggy, Dizzle. We have two amazing guests with us as well. We have Elizabeth and Selena here from Love, Light, Heart, Soul out in Girard and their new space, the Hippie Space, that is going to be opening up when are you opening up? Very soon.
We actually had our grand opening
We
already.
had the grand opening. All right, cool. And the Psychic Expo.
Yeah, the 7th annual Love, Light, and Healing Psychic Fair.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Up at Marriott, you guys always have a ton of people. It seems like, or
The
is it Marriott?
Ambassador.
The
The
Ambassador.
Ambassador.
Yeah, those two are like right next to each other. I'm sorry.
Well, it is in the Marriott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys seem to be expanding every year. I went last year to see some friends up there and take some pictures, and it has gotten progressively larger each year, I'd imagine, from
Yeah.
the 7th year starting.
Yeah, last year we ended up having a second, ballroom
Right.
that we added. Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. So what's the difference between looking at it this year and looking at it 7 years ago?
Wow. About 70 more vendors. And I think we started with 8 or 10 readers, and now we have 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Has it always been at the Courtyard?
At the Ambassador.
Or Ambassador, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm going to get this right.
And I think our very first one, we had 300 people come to,
wow.
and we're over 1,000 now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's such a popular event? What makes it special?
I think especially nowadays, people are waking up to thinking there's something more that they want to connect to, even if it's just on a personal level, not necessarily spiritually. And it just gives them a place to go and be curious and see what's out there.
Right. I think a lot of people are looking for answers or help. And I think that's a good way for people to find it in a lot of situations, especially if you're not from a traditional, or if you don't have a spiritual background or a knowledge of these types of things.
Right. Or even if you have a background that you didn't really connect with.
Right, for sure. So what made this important to you? Why did you want to get this started?
So, in 2016, I started doing readings, and
What kind of readings?
Intuitive card readings,
So tarot, oracle cards.
oracle cards, yeah.
Do you have a particular drawing pattern that you like to do? Or a particular
Typically,
reading
I
you
do a past, present, future.
That seems to be a very popular, very common reading
Yeah.
format.
Or if somebody wants to know specifically something.
Yeah, if they have a certain question. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I started by signing up for my first psychic fair, and I was coming from a place of love and healing. When I figured out I could do this gift, which my mom's a medium. She does a lot of stuff in Lilydale now, but
We had the president of Lilydale on the podcast.
really?
A year and a half ago. Former president. I don't think he's retired now, but he was on a number of years ago. Good friends out there.
Oh, cool. And so I grew up with it, but I always had a fear. So in 2016, I dropped my fear about it and realized that I could do this. And my goal was to just heal and help anybody with any issues. And when I did the psychic fair, the other psychics that were there were so petty and rude.
Wow.
And because I was going in there, it was my first time. I'm like, well, I'm just going to make them $25 because this is my first time doing it publicly. And they hated that because they were like, you're undercutting us.
Oh,
and and they were like, you can't sit here. This is our tables. And it was just the worst experience I've ever had. So I wanted to make a fair that was completely love and healing. And So I literally vet every single person, including vendors. I even put out there, like, if you're a complainer or a negative Nancy, don't even bother applying.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's in the contract.
it is.
Nice. So why do you think there was that kind of animosity when you first started out?
It's just that they're so advanced, and it's their source of income. So, to have somebody come in and only charge 25, they didn't care to get to know me and know why I was charging 25. They just figured I was trying to take business from them,
Have you talked to any of them since, or become friends with any of the
What's
ladies?
really
Or
funny-
met gentlemen?
The one lady has tried to become a reader in my fair every year. And I'm just like, how do you not realize at this point that you're not
Yeah.
of that, like, level of love at all?
So, short answer, no.
Right. No.
Where was it at? Was it around here or
It was, it was in New York.
near Lilydale?
No. I honestly can't even remember the name of the place.
No,
It was
it's okay.
like on a lakefront.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful fair, but the readers were not so nice.
Not super friendly. That's interesting, but I guess I understand when people are concerned about their livelihood and stuff like that, and a little bit of animosity. But I'm a lot cheaper to do photographs and stuff like that than a lot of other people because I'm new too. You know what I mean? That's how you start.
And
to
you want to
build
get the
business.
experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think they I don't know, it's their job. And once you do a job for so long, you don't exactly love it anymore. And I think that might be where they are.
For sure. Especially if that's like your sole source of income, that can be scary.
Right.
When you're hoping to make, a good amount of money. And a lot of people that come to these aren't, I feel like you go to these to kind of meet new people and to branch out of your regulars. I mean, I'm sure they're not concerned about you taking their regular customer that always comes and sees them, you know what I mean? They're worried about the business that they're trying to bring into their community, you know what I mean? And somebody who doesn't know them, it's easy to make the differentiation based off price as to who you see in a situation like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And she didn't try to get to know me,
Yeah.
So that was a big, you're not coming.
Yeah. So you started doing that and then kind of kept building to now you have your own shop and you're running an expo.
Yeah, it was crazy. After the first psychic fair, I had made so many connections with the vendors. And I was driving home one day down Main Street because I lived in East Springfield at the time. And the storefront was for rent. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just call and see how much it is. And I had no business plan whatsoever. Like, I was just like, I could do readings in a store. And the next day I had the deposit down and I had talked to all the vendors and they did consignment in my store for me. And since I opened, it's paid its own bills since I opened.
That's always like the dream kind of, especially when you're like just starting out. It was amazing when we actually me and Dave have never really paid each other for any of this stuff. It's all basically been reinvested back into the business, you know what I mean? But when you can pay your subscriptions and to keep your website alive and
That's
your
all that
bills,
matters.
That's
Yeah.
great, dude.
Yeah.
That's a success. A lot of people don't even make it that far when they start a new business.
Right.
It's amazing. So how long of a transition was it from starting readings to opening a store? Was that like a year-long process, 2 years?
I opened in 2017, so a year.
Wow.
But it's funny because when I started doing readings, I was at the end of my relationship with my husband, and I asked universe for it to be my way out, and it ended up happening so fast.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was great.
Manifestation for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Cool. And has it always been the same shop it's at out in Girard?
Yep, it hasn't moved.
Do you think that's a good location?
So when I opened, I was actually worried that was more of a religious-y town. And so I was scared about that, but the more people came in, they were like, oh, Girard needs something like this. This is so great. And yeah, I was actually really welcomed.
Yeah. I mean, you save probably a lot of people a lot of trips to
Erie.
that are out there and that live further out there into Springfield or Fairview or wherever it happens that they happen to live, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Conneaut, Ohio comes a lot too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We get people from
New York,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like
all
all
over the place.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have quite the following.
Yeah. Cool. So you start, like, tell me about, like, your marketing strategy. Like, how did you become, like, successful or get the word out? I feel like it's probably a lot different in 2017 versus how it is now.
Yeah. I did a lot of live videos when I first opened.
Mm-hmm. On, like, Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook. And really, Facebook's all I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I've done some, like the Smart Shopper ad now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What else have I done? I don't even know.
I feel like whenever I post something, like I feel like doing readings or anything like that, and I post something on Facebook like, hey, I'm going to do some readings and comment and I'll draw a card for you. Mm-hmm. It always seems like there is a massive like response in general.
Yeah,
Yes.
people love that.
People love that.
Yep.
It makes it easy to market when you have a service or a product that people are interested in.
Mm-hmm. They like it for free.
Yeah, well, that's the easy part right there. Is offering it for free definitely gets a big response. The harder part is trying to get people to pay for that same level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when I started doing readings from home, I was just doing them on a regular Facebook page live and was doing free ones for my friends and stuff. But that is, you just do a mini reading and you'll have people that go, can you do me a fuller reading?
Yeah.
You know?
They want more, right? They get a taste and can't say no.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is when you're doing one card reading, you have to know when to cut it off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go in too much and tell them the whole story based off one card. You gotta get sales tactic. It's being a good salesman, right? But people really love and enjoy that kind of stuff. And I've had people offer to pay, for more just off of me trying to, offer free readings because I feel like I haven't touched one of my decks for a long time and I want to get back into it. You know what I mean?
You just get like a craving.
Yeah,
for
right.
it.
Every now and then. I used to work in a mental health facility, and every now and then I would bring my cards with me to work, and I would literally spend all day, the whole 8-hour shift, like sitting at a desk and have a sign-up sheet and having people come like all day long for readings, as part of, their treatment, I guess. You know what I mean? When I was working at that facility. And it's something that I've always been passionate about. Well, maybe not always been passionate about, but something that I really enjoy doing is being able to, like, offer that insight to people, Do you find that's, like, rewarding or part of why you continue to do it?
Yeah, I love when people have aha moments or they just needed the confirmation that they already knew.
That's what it is 9 times out of 10, I think.
Yep.
A lot of times that's, like, my personal problems, too. I'm like, dude, I know the answer to this. I want to do this, which is stupid. I need you to tell me how stupid it is, please. Reconfirm with me that I do not need to make this decision.
Well, see, that's kind of how I got into it was I had a situation where I had what would be called a near-death experience. So then I didn't understand what had happened. And it wasn't very long after that I seeked. Like, I went. This is where we get to talk about how we met.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I pulled in and sat in front of her store for
like 45 minutes. And I was sitting on the stoop with the
Like
store
watching,
closed. Yeah. But I refused to make eye contact with her because I knew she wanted to come in the store and I wasn't open.
You were closed, yeah, right? Had enough for the day.
Yeah. And
So I was just sitting there with my daughter in the car saying, Mommy, are we going to leave? For 45 minutes. Finally, I got out.
Why do you think you were so apprehensive?
she probably didn't want to interrupt me because I was on the phone.
Yeah.
Sure. That, and I was still in that early phase of this is all taboo because I grew up religious.
Sure.
So I finally got out and I approached her and I was like, do you know when this store is open?
Yeah, and I was like, do you know what you want?
And I said, no, I just kind of want to look around.
Nice.
I wanted to say no so bad, but universe made me say yes.
Yeah.
And then we spent 2 hours just talking in the store with nobody else in there, lights off.
Nice. And that was your introduction to the spiritual realm.
Yes.
Cool. Do either of you guys identify as a certain spirituality today?
Well, spirituality is not a religion. It's just a way of being. Like when you feel aligned with a belief, you know. Spirituality is really just knowing that there's something that connects everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there any particular denomination or sect or religion that you ascribe to?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
For me, I think every religion is connected because with religion, you believe that there's a higher power.
Sure.
Whether you call it God, whether you call it whatever you want to. We usually refer to it as the universe. Some people, Mother Earth or whatever. But it's just a higher power. And what am I trying to say? It's just the doctrine that's different.
I think the doctrine's the same too for the most part.
Most of it.
It's just called
It's all the same rules.
I just like
exactly.
love.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
And that's
generally.
kind of what we put out there is love, light.
Love, light, heart, soul.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that they're totally the same. I've been on a deep dive like the last year and a half, just like reading and learning all the different schools of thought. You know, like the Western and the Eastern religions, and Norse traditions, whatever. I'm very far from being done, but there's definitely differences between like Western and Eastern philosophy. Like a lot of the concepts like get to the same point, but I've found they do it in very different ways.
I think Western's a lot more fear-based.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and more like monotheistic.
Sure.
You know, the singular God as
Yes.
compared to, multiple gods, or like just like an interconnectivity between everybody. It's just interesting, just the little nuances that people connect to.
When we talk Eastern religion, we're talking like big three.
Like Hindu.
Or Western religion. Excuse me. We're talking like big three. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, right?
A little. I mean, you know more about this than me, so maybe you can educate me a little bit. But even
I'm asking. I'm saying.
Oh no,
this out
yeah.
we're referring to.
I throw in like Native American as well because it's like the OG.
Into Western.
Well, it is the Western
It is
part of
Western
the world.
hemisphere, yeah, but like, is it really big three Western?
It's not big three. You're making it sound like a big college football
It is a big
program.
college football program.
It's like Ohio State against like the Liberty Flames or something, you know? Like,
Yes, no, that is what it's like.
yeah.
But I think that where I was going with them all being the same is like generally, I'd agree with Dave. Sometimes the motivations or the stories or however you get there are a little bit different. But I think at the end of the day, it's all generally go with the flow, trust that things are going to be okay, and believe, and treat others how you want to be treated. And I think that like simplicity to me is spirituality. When I can simplify something down into its very essence or its root or its core, that's when it's like most pure, most holy to me. And putting all of these other fancy words there all just kind of blurs the message.
If you boil everything down, it all comes down to love.
Yeah.
Love yourself, love others.
I'd say the only thing that is really, really latched on in everything I've ever read is like the fascination with the afterlife.
Yeah.
And like
Yep.
what happens when it's love.
What happens when
and
you
then
die.
what happens when you die.
Dave, what do you think so far, according to your deep dive?
According to my deep dive, it's like it's not what I believe in, but it's the deep dive basically goes towards if you're a good person,
You get rewarded.
and if you're a good person and you're disciplined in your beliefs, that you get rewarded, and if not, then you don't.
Punished.
Well, because even in like I just finished reading like for the first time through the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and it's like when you die, you have a series of chances to reach like
Redeem yourself.
yeah, or like go to the clear light, or not come back to like the human flesh, but they talk about a concept of hell in that. Like it's different from like the Christian hell, because it's not like you go there and you can never get out, but it's like it's extremely difficult to get out of. If you're a bad person in life, you have the chance to not have that happen to you, but the more spiritual you are and the more you understand your sacred texts, and if you have your guru or whatever to sit with you to read the Book of the Dead while you're dying to help guide you in the right direction, you got a lot better chance to not
make
be a
it.
human again, or not go to like a hellish landscape.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, I grew up believing in heaven and hell. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're good, you go to heaven. If you're bad, you go to hell. I don't believe that anymore,
Yeah.
because when I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to be worried and fearful that I'm going to hell because I made mistakes because I'm human.
Right.
So
But you're offered forgiveness.
I just live my light. I live my life in light and love.
Yeah.
So I portray love. And I feel like when I'm on my deathbed, if I've done everything in a loving and light intention, that's what'll carry me over the veil to the next
Yeah.
whatever's going on. Because that's the thing, is none of us know what happens after we die.
True.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's all bull crap.
You think it's? You think when we die, it's nothing? We go to nothing. We return to the earth.
I think that our energy returns to our energy source. I believe that, like, spirit or its source, and it's where everybody's connected. We all have a streamline to that.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. But that's what spirituality is whatever feels right to you is what you're allowed to believe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everybody's allowed to believe whatever they want to believe,
Yep.
whether it's spiritual or not.
So-
you know what I mean? That's free will to an extent.
Exactly.
There's a good argument that free will doesn't exist as well. So
Well, if there's destiny, how is there free will?
how is there free will? How is the chemical laws in physics that create every action in every part of our body that makes it work free will when it has to follow those laws? You know what I
Right.
mean?
I love science.
I know.
I do too.
And that just brings me to energy.
Yeah.
Like, every single thing is made up of energy.
Yeah.
I think it's like, this is the way I see it in my brain, not just for like human beings, but for everything that's ever existed. The metaphor, the analogy in my head is like not so much total free will and not so much like total like destiny, but it's like, if you remember those choose your own adventure books,
yeah.
you know, where it's like
Those are
there
fun.
there isn't one way that has to go, but it's like
you could take the easy path or the hard path.
Yeah, you
Right.
come
You
to a
wanna get
fork. If you go left, turn to page 155, and like a fish turns into a human, you know, you take the right fork, we're all still in the ocean, you know?
But
Yeah,
it
you know.
all leads to the same place.
Right, just a different.
Everybody has different avenues, kind of like tree roots, but it all goes into one trunk.
Yeah. It's all part of the universe, or the mass, or the
Yes.
chemical soup that we all live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
What, chemical soup
Yeah.
that we live in, that we call the earth or the atmosphere or whatever?
He's trying to be like clever with it. What he's not telling you is that was his first band in high school.
Yeah.
Chemical Soup.
Right,
He's been
yeah.
trying to drop that on this show for 2
Forever.
years.
I mean, that's a
Chemical
cool
soup,
name.
baby. Chemical soup will never die. No, I think it's a big question that a lot of people try to find the answer to, and I think that part of finding peace is figuring out that there's no answer. There's no for sure answer.
There isn't.
And I think that's a big part of like spirituality in general, is taking comfort in the lack of an answer, or the absurdity of the universe, if you will, that nothing is predictable, anything can happen, and that there's not a whole lot we can do to change a whole lot of things that are in the world.
I think
It's
if
true.
there was an answer, that our human brains would not have the capacity to handle it.
I don't know.
That's
I
it.
feel like our brains have the capacity to develop religion, so I feel like that at one time the answer was more obvious to us.
Have you ever, like, this is one that if I really think about it, it'll keep me up at night. Have you ever thought about and tried to wrap your head around the concept that the universe never ends?
The universe never ends.
Yeah,
Like, just
or
imagining the time.
or if the universe ends, what happens after the universe? You know, like, how does something go on forever? Where's the end to it? Like, it's things like that I feel like the human mind can't comprehend. That's kind of what I'm talking about more than, like, religion.
I think it can comprehend it. It's just that we tend to like overcomplicate the fuck out of everything on planet Earth. Like, yeah, I can say the universe goes on forever. I don't have to understand it. I can just say it and see that it does, or do science or whatever to figure that out. But I can just say that, you know what I mean? And I can just believe that. I don't have to complicate it any more than that. Or it ending, you know, poof, everything fades to black, boom. It's easy, Dave. Anybody can understand a fade to black.
Well, I mean, you don't have the answer, though.
I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
So I always say this.
us too.
If you read 3 different books about the same thing, you can come up with a conclusive almost answer.
A
Because
meta-analysis,
Yes.
scientific term.
so I read a book by Anita Mirjani,
Okay.
and I believe it's called Dying to Be Me or something.
Okay.
She developed cancer. So long story short, she developed cancer, almost died, but came back. And when she came back, within like 3 weeks or something like that, she was cured of the cancer. But in the time that she was almost dead, she made an analogy. She said it's really hard to explain what happened. What happened, the way that she explained it was like you're in this warehouse that goes on forever with rows and rows and rows of shelving with stuff on them. And you have this little spotlight and you are shining it around, and all you can see is what's in that little spotlight. But then all of a sudden, when something like a near-death experience happens, the lights in the warehouse go off, and you see things you've never seen before, colors, just everything you can't explain. And then when you come back, that light's shut off.
Okay.
And it's like your human brain is trying to comprehend what just happened. So now you're back with the spotlight trying to find all these things that you saw.
Yeah. How do we find them, though? Meditation,
die.
astral travel,
Almost
astral
die.
projecting, DMT,
Almost dying, yeah.
TMT.
holotropic breathing.
I don't know. I'm with you on that whole like staying up at night. Literally recently I was thinking about how little we really are in the universe. Like you go in an airplane and you can't even see people anymore.
Right.
So why the heck do we matter?
Tell them about your
No lives
philosophy
matter.
about the
Hot
fish.
take.
About the fish. Remember?
Oh, I had a revelation
Okay, about a fish.
that we are, well, fish live in water and whatever.
Sure.
We are fishes outer space. They have no idea what exists outside of that water and how vast it is. You know, so it was like weird to think of that. Like what, like the outer space is that for us. Like there could be a whole,
It could be a Horton here's a who.
It could be.
Could be.
yeah.
There's a lot of different things. I like that the idea or the metaphor that you said that was written in that book about everybody being connected and kind of sharing that same space, and only through death are we able to connect with all the different versions of ourselves, whether that version is my cat or that version is you or
Yep.
the version is a bug or a bird or whatever
It's
it
like
is.
the world or everything's like a tapestry and everything intertwines and everything's connected because the energy goes back to where its source was.
Right.
And that's how we're all kind of tethered together.
Tethered.
I
Yeah.
know. I said it.
Had to drop it. No, that's so funny. I think that there's a lot of in my mind when I die and I get turned back into the earth, my chemicals. I don't really ascribe to like energy or anything like that. I mean, I get it. We're all energy. It's all waves. But I just like. I think that my nihilistic nature just really likes to think of us as like giant piles of chemicals that have started to animate through the different chemical reactions that are going on in our world. And then once I die, part of me will become gas, which will be the air. Part of me will become the ground, and then the worms, and then the plants, and then whatever, you know what I mean? We kind of spread out. So right now we're just like a super, super condensed little thing, and then when we die we kind of spread out, and then maybe parts of us will become new things and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. So what kind of stuff do you have at your shop?
Ooh, we have gifts.
Yeah,
You have
lots
gifts?
of gifts.
Gifts are cool.
We love gifts.
Oh yeah. Here, we'll give it.
Look.
Oh, nice.
That's me.
Same pink glasses.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wait. It gets better.
Okay.
And this is where it gets better. These are for you guys.
Oh, wow.
For
This
stickers.
hippie shit slaps.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Bring it up close so everybody can see it.
It's me.
It's her.
Boom.
Yep. And then we've got
Stickers.
no,
Ooh.
Oh,
Crystals.
crystals.
Yes,
which
crystals.
I saw on your door that.
Yeah, I bet you I have all these
You
ones.
like
I'm gonna try to identify them for you.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
don't read the papers.
To show off.
Yes.
Yeah, he can show off. I don't.
So in the shop, we
Jasper.
Dalmatian Jasper,
Quartz.
citrine.
Citrine.
Which
I
is
didn't
a
really
quartz.
see any yellow, but I will take your word for it.
I can see it from
It's
here.
a little yellow.
Yeah, a little
I
bit. Yeah.
guess. The bags there, it kind of distracted me, threw me off. And I should know it, but I don't. I can't think of it.
Aventurine.
Aventurine. Dang, this is a good luck stone too.
Yep.
I do have all of them, but I will add them up to our mantle where I collect them. Actually, they're kind of in a box right now because my cat likes to knock them off my mantle, so they're hidden away. Unfortunately, Gideon, our studio manager, likes to cause trouble sometimes, but that's cool. No, thank you so much. These are beautiful.
You're welcome.
Citrine is a wealth and prosperity stone.
Yes.
Keep this in your wallet or
So
your
there's-
pocket, people.
there's papers in
There's
there.
papers. That's okay. I don't
because
like the
it
papers.
has
No,
it has descriptions. But we have to do that because we have so many crystals.
People that want to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, that don't know it. Yeah.
And there's too many to memorize.
Yep. Jasper is a grounding stone. And yeah, citrine, keep in your pocket, keep in your wallet to make your dollars multiply.
We have it in our cash drawer.
Yes. Yeah, right. I used to keep some in my wallet. I don't have any in this wallet. And
now you
aventurines for good luck. Very good. Thank you so much. These are amazing.
You're welcome.
So you have crystals.
Yep.
You have kick-ass stickers.
Yes.
What else might one find?
We have cool hippie clothes.
Okay.
We like our
Like that
cool
sweater?
hippie clothes.
No, this was a cool thrift store find.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Nice.
But-
Hippie clothes.
Yep.
Necklaces, jewelry,
A lot
crystals.
of jewelry. Yeah, like this is
Yes.
one from
Oh.
the shop.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is one of the finer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I carry like fine gemstone jewelry and like all the way down to, affordable,
Yeah.
all budgets.
All budgets.
All budgets. That's good. People
We
need
have
lots of
something for
different things.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. How big is your selenite? What's your biggest log of selenite? How big is it? This is low key. How I judge every crystal store I ever go to is if I have a bigger selenite log than they do.
You probably have a bigger log than I do in the store, but I have,
I have
a
bigger
really
log
cool
than, like,
pyramid.
everybody.
A really big pyramid.
Yeah. Pyramids are cool. Yeah. You pass. You pass with the pyramid, but I have a pretty big selenite log.
A rough
upstairs.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like a tower?
It's like a tall log like this.
Okay.
So it's not cut at all. Yeah, it's just
No.
That's
raw.
cool.
Yeah.
I've seen some
Selen-
really nice raw ones that look like driftwood.
Yeah,
Like
they're
so
huge.
big.
I mean, that's why most of the time they call them logs because they kind of have like a log shape when they're
Yeah.
raw and uncut and just chilling like that.
I have one like this big that I keep with my card decks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of selenite because it's my favorite stone.
Because her
Really?
name is basically
Yeah,
selenite.
Selena, selenite. I get it. Yeah, I have selenite. I like black tourmaline a lot. I have my house gridded with
So do
black tourmaline.
I have the
Same.
store gridded with black tourmaline and selenite.
Yeah. Very cool. So we got crystals. We got fancy crystals. What about like moldavite?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Got that. And Libyan desert glass and
We have
Columbianite.
Vivianite.
Oh yeah, Vivianite.
Vivianite. That's the bloodstone.
That's actually Vivianite grows on decomposing
Bodies. Yeah,
and stuff.
blood
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool stone. Necromancer stone.
Yes.
Where do you guys get your stones from?
All different suppliers.
Yeah.
I've got.
Do you get any of them yourself? You dig them, go into the mines?
I have no idea how people know with how stuff looks out in the wild. How the hell do you
Way
know
different,
to
Yeah.
pick at that? I don't know.
But we do have one of the employees.
Yeah.
Her uncle goes out
To
and
Herkimer.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. In New York.
does a lot of
Yeah.
mining.
I got gifted a giant Herkimer diamond by a 7-year-old, and he gave me a meteor too that he found, and I lost it in a breakup a number of years ago. I still have the meteor, but I lost the Herkimer diamond. It was like the size of this mouse, probably. It was a big
Oh,
chunk.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sick. Unfortunately, it's gone forever.
We have
No, I found a new home.
It
I
did.
found a new home.
it went where it needed to.
It
I
went,
guess.
yeah, she needed it more for sure.
We have.
Oh, and if you're listening out there for some strange reason, he's like 15 or 16 years old. I would really love another Herkimer diamond if you happen to find one.
We have one friend that whenever I'm with her at like a crystal shop, she's able to just stop and like she's without even looking at anything, she's able to explain everything and like
Yeah, we have another friend who's a huge ocean jasper collector.
yeah, same person.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
she's super big. She loves ocean jasper a whole
she loves
lot,
ocean
whole
jasper
lot.
a whole lot.
Well, it
She
has
loves it.
so many different looks.
Yeah.
Like there's so many colors. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's like moss agate.
Oh, I love moss
Yeah.
agate.
Yeah.
See,
Some of that upstairs, another grounding stone. I don't have any ocean jasper. Her ocean jasper is like fucking.
oh, it's unreal,
It's like
crazy
serious
collection.
collector, fucking
Yeah.
That's
thousands
awesome.
of dollars. Ocean
I'd love to
jasper.
see it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I have a citrine sphere that's
yeah?
like this big.
Nice. I have a smoky quartz. That's one of my favorites. With like, it has a bunch of rainbow inclusions on it. That it's a pyramid, and I got it at the medieval fair a bunch of years ago. They had some really cool shit. They had a super good vendor there a while back, and I bought like, I don't know, a couple $100 worth of really nice stones from her.
It's really,
You can go down
When-
a huge
Yeah,
rabbit hole.
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, you should. In my house, I have like skulls, like
Yeah.
a collection of just skulls.
Human
a
skulls,
collection-
glass skulls, crystal skulls,
crystal skulls,
crystal skulls.
dragon skulls.
Actually, she has a lot of animal skulls too.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
I used to have a good collection of animal skulls, but I lost those in the breakup too. It's okay.
Well, that's something else that we carry is
Animal
what's
skulls?
called oddities.
Okay.
Oddities are cool.
Wet specimens.
We don't have any wet specimens.
No, not
No.
wet.
Dry specimens.
Yes.
What about bats? Do you have any of the little tiny?
Not yet.
Freeze dried bats.
But I'm looking to do something with them because,
She likes that.
I like bats too. Yeah.
well, it's funny because I get the bugs,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get the bugs, they come. They almost look dehydrated,
Right, yeah.
and like the spiders, their legs are all long. You have to put them in a container with
Mm-hmm.
a damp towel for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then when you get them out, you have to maneuver the legs, and it's like you can feel the joints pop when you move them.
Yeah. Do you ever do any taxidermy?
No.
No.
I wouldn't mind though. I know there's a lot of people against that stuff though. I try to stay as neutral as possible,
Sure.
but
Yeah,
I think that
taxidermy is
stuff's cool.
interesting too. We've done a little bit. I've done a little bit of that, but mostly simple stuff. I don't know. I'll tell you about it later. The stuff that we did because
you're like, it's not.
yeah, it's not super
legal.
cool. Yeah, but it was really cool. So I have done a little bit of taxidermy. It's the stuff that we did was pretty simple. Mostly it just like sat in piles of salt and borax, and we spread it out to the positions that it wanted, and we left it for a couple months, and then it came back, and it was beautiful and done and good to go.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we got crystals. I bet there's tarot cards.
There's-
Yep.
Tarot cards, oracle
Tarot
cards,
oracle cards,
journals, books,
journals, books, any
runes, pendulums.
I'm trying to think of the right word. Grimoires.
I don't know what that is.
It's a book of secrets.
Oh no.
No,
spell
because
book.
a grimoire or the Book of Shadows or anything like that, that's developed by you.
Yeah, I have my own grimoire.
So,
We do
I don't
have a
know.
book
I'm
of
sure there's some
shadows.
people who
We-
have published their
we-
grimoires.
yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how do I explain this?
No, it's something that you create.
Right.
My grimoire has all sorts of fun stuff in it. It has karate, well, not karate, but like Tai Chi movements. It has smoking recipes. It has different herbs and things like that I've identified and have written down in there. It has a couple dreams in it. It's there. I think
It's
grimoires are
eclectic.
pretty- Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
a lot of different things.
It's you.
Yeah.
I just like pashminas and ponchos.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I've
got
got
any
those.
ponchos?
Yeah,
got them.
Yeah, yeah.
We have smoking accessories.
Yeah.
Are we, am I
Kombucha.
allowed to
Sure.
say
Yeah.
that?
I mean,
okay.
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah. We have
Water
kombucha.
pipes.
Kombucha.
Oh, really? Do you
Yes.
guys make any of your own?
No, we get it from is Keystone Cultures in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And they deliver it like every 4 to 6. We have it on tap.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I
the
could bring in
flavors
like a
always change.
giant jug.
Well, we have pints and quarts
Mm-hmm.
that you pay for the bottle the first time, but then you can keep
Bring
bringing
it back. Yeah. Cool. I love kombucha. I tried to brew my own kombucha, but it never. I couldn't get the fucking SCOBY to grow.
I have no advice.
Excuse me.
So, but Did your kombucha taste like vinegar?
It didn't
The
taste like
homemade
anything
stuff.
because
Oh,
it didn't
because
grow.
Yeah.
it didn't
It wouldn't
grow.
grow.
But when you've tried kombucha, does it taste?
Generally, it has a little bit of a vinegary flavor to
Yeah.
it.
See, and this one doesn't, because
Interesting.
they stop the fermentation
At
process,
just the right time.
and then they keg it and keep it cold.
So it doesn't continue to process.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I kind of like the vinegary taste.
I
to it.
love vinegar.
I do like vinegar.
But like the ones that are in the store, they'll add apple cider vinegar or they just taste vinegary from being on the shelf for so long. So it's nice to get it fresh and on tap. And when you do that too, you have the live cultures and stuff where I think the ones that are on the shelf are pasteurized.
I don't know. I don't
I
think,
think
they.
so.
I think they are pasteurized, but I think they still have live cultures in them as well because that's what I was instructed to use to grow my own SCOBY. So it's still
Maybe that's why it didn't work though.
I mean, I feel like if that was why it didn't work, then there are a fucking ton of people lying on the internet.
You know,
about
my
how to grow
mom
it.
makes it, and I'll ask her what she uses as a starter.
Yeah. She probably got a SCOBY from somebody
She
else.
did. She
yeah.
did. That I know.
It's like
Yeah.
the same way with sourdough bread. You get like a starter and it has like
yeah.
a secret legacy of
Yep.
like 1,000 fucking years that's been passed around from grandma to grandma to grandma to.
Well,
to
once you
finally
get
you.
once you get a small SCOBY, they grow like crazy.
Yeah,
I had
you
like
can't stop brewing.
no. I had like 7 jars in my fridge, and my husband's like, "Can we get rid of this?"
I'll take pass them this way. I love kombucha. My fiance is not really a big fan, so it's all for me.
Yep.
No, but I like that, and I think that it's super interesting the way that they have like their own legacy. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of like power in things passing on and going on through generational changes and generations of people and processing and all that stuff to be alive. You know, some of that SCOBY could be around for, I don't know, as long as they started brewing kombucha thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? Part of that same stuff. It's really cool to me, and I think there's a lot of magic in that. You know what I mean? Or spirit or energy or whatever you want to call it. There's something special about things that are
Yeah.
fucking old. It's
Yes.
some
Yeah.
shit. Whether
Yes.
it's a SCOBY, whether it's a building, whether it's
And antique stuff.
antiques,
Yes.
whatever. You know, that old stuff has, it's seen the things.
Residual energy.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just holding it there and hosting it.
Yep. I always imagine, like, if I see an old piano or something, I'm like, oh my God, what did it look like when it was actually, like, brand
Brand new.
new?
Yep.
And what kind of people
Like the
were
first
around it?
person playing it
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think the same way about old people.
Yeah.
Old people.
Yeah.
They were look like what they were when they
Yeah.
were younger.
I like old books a lot.
Yes.
Like
I'm a book person.
I like to
too.
sniff them.
They do have a specific smell.
Like the old book smell. You
Yeah.
like get like a real old book and I'm like giving it a real deep
That's what
whiff, you
real
know?
paper smells like.
Yeah, right. So you got some oddities. We talked about the dried specimens, so you got bugs. What other kind of oddities are in the shop?
We have, well, I have my own personal cat bones.
Keep some cat bones.
Oh, so if you ever come in, I have a whole cat shrine behind my counter because I am obsessed with cats.
Cool.
Yeah.
So different bones.
Yep.
The cat bones for sale.
No.
Are they from your cats?
No.
I thought a lot about taxiderming one of our cats or my dog, at least just his skull. But I don't think my fiance is quite on board with me ever. First off, our cats have to die, which will obviously never
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So that's the first problem. And the second problem is letting me do the things that I need to do to preserve the skull, which at the end would be really cool, but not a very pleasant
Process.
part to process the skull. Yeah. Or the paw. Well, the paws would probably be easy, but the skull would be definitely much more involved.
I have an alligator paw.
An alligator paw? Nice. I have a bunch of things. I'll tell you about them later. But it's an interesting process, and it's good that there are places like that for people to, find those ways and find similar people that think those things are interesting. Because what I've realized a lot lately, maybe not lately, but over the past year or so, is that like a lot of the things that I find super interesting and fun and cool,
People find weird.
People are not as interested as I am.
They're just the wrong people.
Exactly.
They're not the wrong people. They're just different people. You know what I mean? They're still kind and gentle and generous and all of those good things. It's just that they're not into...
Weird enough.
Yeah, they're just not quite as on the same level of weird as I am, which is cool. You know what I mean? And that's why, like... part of that is like the process of weirding, you know what I mean? That's part of the growth and part of the fun is getting weirder. You know what I mean?
Is it that they're not, or they're not allowing themselves to be their authentic selves?
It could be. It could be. And maybe that's why 300 people showed up at your first fair, you know what I mean? Because they wanted to explore, they wanted to get in touch with that weird side of themselves and figure out if this is something that they enjoy or something that they're interested in. Or if it's
Absolutely.
And they weren't scared of somebody judging them.
That's the biggest.
It's part of the human experience, you know, to learn and to explore and to find things out, you know. We're like, that's like ingrained, I think, into our genetic ancestral history, DNA, memories, is to explore, you know what I mean? To move around and to find things and to figure things out. Because if we weren't like that, if that wasn't in our genes or in our genetics, we wouldn't have all of these crazy things that we have in front of us. We'd be like dolphins, you know what I mean? Super smart and no need to manipulate our environment.
And that's one of the reasons why we, branched and opened up the hippie space is...
Oh, yeah. Because I used to have a room in the back where we could do like lead meditation or drum circles and stuff like that. And over COVID, we expanded the shop to take up the whole space.
Sure.
So
we knocked down the wall.
Yeah.
Fun.
Very liberating.
Yeah.
But a storefront just 3 doors down from my shop ended up becoming available. So we wanted to utilize that opportunity to, bring all that back. So
Yeah. I mean, you gotta make use of it, especially if the store next to you is empty now. You know what I mean? And you need this space for more fun activities.
Right.
Well, and that's kind of what it's geared towards is, if somebody wants to come in and have their...
host a workshop or
Do a sound
teach
bath.
a class, do a sound bath. Yeah, it's more of a rental space that I just conveniently have access to for anything that I want to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a few different events going on.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the events. What's happening over there?
On October 23rd, we have open mic night.
Okay.
So,
So music,
Poetry, yep, anything, and it's all ages. So we're hoping to maybe let some teens have somewhere fun to go that's not, getting in trouble.
Right. They need that.
Yeah, definitely, especially in
And
Girard.
not a phone or like a internet connection.
Let's have
you know
some
what I mean?
social.
Let's actually be around other human beings for a little bit, please.
And honestly, when you were a teenager, wasn't it nice to befriend people that were just a little bit older than you that had a little more knowledge
sure.
about things,
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Need that mentorship, guidance, all that stuff.
yeah. On the 26th, which is a Saturday from 10 to 4, we have Psychic Groovin, which...
Psychic Groovin?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
It's so fun. So this is going to be the fourth or fifth one that we've put on.
And they sell out every time.
Yep. It's like speed dating, but with readers.
Oh, nice.
So it's $25. You sit with the first reader. After 5 minutes, I ding a bell, and you go to the next one. And then you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one. And it's just really fun and a great way to sample, like, readers if you don't know who to go to or what kind of... we have different modalities. Like we have a reader that's a medium. We have a reader that's does tarot,
Bone
Stevie T is
thrower.
going to be at this one. Yeah, and
Runes?
then we have she actually doesn't do runes. She throws bones and charms.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Tea leaves?
We did have a
done.
tea leaf reader at the last one and palm reader.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people are super interested in learning to do this themselves too. You know what I mean? So like workshops and stuff like that, I'm sure are very popular and definitely good ways to get people to come too. You know what I mean? And have like little ceremonies. It's interesting for people who don't have a way to express this. Like they have this yearning or this desire, but they don't know, you know, how do we have a moon ceremony? How do we have a reading ceremony or a spring ceremony or a whatever kind of ceremony that we want to have? And I think personally, you know, it's pretty free. You can do whatever. You can have whatever kind of ceremony you want and do it however you want. But I think that the hard part is that people are so indoctrinated into having to follow rules and having it to have it be a certain way that like having an open ceremony where people can kind of guide it in the way that they best see fit can be really liberating for people.
And that's what's weird too. Not weird, but it's because people just don't know. But they'll come in and they want sage, and they say, "Okay, how do I use it? What do I do?
Yeah.
What are the rules?" And it's like you're just so used to having rules that you don't, you know. But there are none. It's literally intention. It's, you know, you want to light it for, you know, releasing negative energy in the home, or, you know, bringing in more positive, or just clearing the space of anything. And you just say in your head whatever feels right. You don't have to say this specific prayer to get anything out. That's, you know, just something you learn from.
You don't have to
going
say
to
Hail Mary
church.
10 times
Right.
in a row while
Right.
you're doing it. And
Right.
spin around 3 times and
Yep.
throw salt over your back or something.
Yep. The only thing I say is, well, if Native Americans, they wouldn't blow on it with their breath. They think that taints it. So that's why they always use feathers to waft it. But that's the only rule that I really know of. And
try
you
to
can follow it or you don't have to,
exactly.
you know, because it is about intention.
Do you have any black magic stuff?
I don't know, because here's the thing is, like, I'm not a Wiccan. I'm not, I don't do spells. Like, anything I do is just intention based. So I'm not really sure, like, what specifically people use, because I'm really lazy and I don't like to.
She calls herself the lazy witch.
psychic.
Ghost, lazy psychic.
Yeah, because I don't like to read stuff and dive super deep into stuff I don't care about.
That's me.
So
I do the deep dives.
Yeah.
So I don't know what people use for black magic. I have some black candles, if that counts.
I mean, like hex jars and stuff like that. No.
I don't really know what people use in them. I
That
might
would
have
be
some,
more like sigil magic.
I might have some herbs they might use. I don't know.
I'm sure you have herbs they use.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have anything like this is how you curse your...
Oh, no. Mm-mm. I had a voodoo doll for a long time that somebody had handmade. She made like 40 of them.
Wow.
And they were really cool. But that's gone.
People bought them.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. How do you feel about just releasing 40 voodoo dolls into the world?
It doesn't affect me.
Right. You gave them the voodoo dolls. They're not cursing you. It's the other people that need to worry about it.
I don't know. I stay in my little bubble.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, people will come to me and say I'm cursed. Somebody, you know, obviously something's wrong. And honestly, if you can be strong in your own power, nothing that anybody else does can affect you. So I think it's just that they have a weakened belief about themselves. And so they're manifesting that bad things are happening to them because of somebody else. But it really is because they're just not standing, you know, strong in their own power.
Cool. Well, ladies, this has been super fun. I've enjoyed the time that we spent together. This was enjoyable. Make sure you guys all go check out Love, Light, Soul.
Love, light,
soul.
heart, soul.
Love, Light, Heart, Soul. God,
You're almost there.
I was so close. I got it right the first time. Dang it. Love, Light, Soul, and the Hippie Space. Check out some stuff, enlighten yourself, learn about things, and go to their workshops. The Psychic Groovin Psychics.
Psychic Groovin. Yep.
Psychic Groovin.
All if you go to the Facebook page, Love Light Heart Soul, in Girard. Yep. We
Yeah.
have all those things listed.
Yep.
Check out the social media, follow them on the places, and check out their events. Buy some stones, buy some cool things, and more will be revealed. I'm sure the stuff probably changes all the time. What you
It
have
does.
Yeah,
there.
we have a rune reader coming in November.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a drum
yeah.
circle in November.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of events going on. Do you guys have drums, or do we need to bring our own?
We have ones you can borrow,
Cool.
or you could bring your own in.
We have drums and didgeridoos and rattles here. in the
Perfect.
studio.
Bring it all.
didgeridoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring those too. Bring
Yep.
all the things. Bring yourself. Bring the kind heart and the good intentions and your wallet, because you're gonna want to buy all the stuff. Probably gonna want a lot of.
If I didn't already own it, I would.
Yeah.
Want it.
Well, you're trying to get rid of it. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I get to foster everything.
Foster it. There you go. That's a good way to look at it. Well, ladies, it's been super fun. Thank you guys for coming. Thank all you for hanging out tonight, checking it out, seeing what's good, and y'all have a splendid evening. We love you. Peace out.